Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of the West Coast Flagrancy Reviews. Today, we're going to be doing a fight review. I know we're a couple days late. When was it? It was the 28th of November that it took place, the event. If you aren't familiar with it, it was the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight. Also, there was the celebrity fight as well. If you're up with the pop culture, it's Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson, the former basketball player or athlete or whatever he is. The event actually itself took place. It was a very small exhibition matches. I believe the first fight, it was 4 fights.
4 fights.
Mm-hmm. 4 fights in total, for a total of what, $50 for a pay-per-view event. That wasn't bad, right?
Yeah.
Up to this guy, really.
No, I mean, well, like the entertainment value for it was good. Let's not forget to mention the musical acts, right? In between.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The musical acts in between every fight, which was pretty cool. Grinch, can you remind me what the fight card was exactly? The first 2 fights?
The first 2 fights?
Well, the first fight. Let's start with the first one.
Didn't really like that introduction, but okay, that's fine. Well, the first...
Now coming to the mic.
I know,
right?
A little bit better.
Let's get ready to...
So, I mean, I don't know boxing that well, but the first fight was Ortiz and Sagawa.
Ortiz versus Sagawa.
Yeah.
Now, that was...
It was actually an interesting fight. I actually
was entertaining.
Really liked that.
You guys really liked it. I honestly was underwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when I compare all 4 of them, yeah, that's the one that I was like, I got my money's worth in that one.
I don't know. Even initially watching it, like because it was the first fight and everything, and I was actually it's a pay-per-view fight, so you were really expecting something big, but I don't know. I didn't really see anything crazy about it.
I thought it was,
to my recollection.
In terms of like athleticism between both boxers, I thought it was great because I think they were both like 2 age. The difference was like 2 years, right? One was 33, Sagawa was 35, and Sagawa took the minute last fight. Right?
That's true.
Let's not forget.
He
was a replacement for that fight, and Jimenez just right. Jimenez, right?
No,
what's his name? Sagawa?
No,
Ortiz. Sorry, why do I keep saying Jimenez? I don't know why. Where the fuck did I get Jimenez?
Because you're racist.
Ortiz just rocked Sagawa, right? That he was just
bullying him. in the beginning, it took him a little bit to get his rhythm.
It did, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. It did. It looked like Seagal was kind of tilting the tables. Like, it looked like his athleticism was going to beat out.
But then once he started getting into his rhythm, then he was landing punches more, and more severe punches at that than Seagal was.
Oh, yeah, the one to the body, right to the
That's
kidney.
the one that took him down.
That's the one that took him down. Oof.
And that's it didn't look like he was really working on the body for most of the fight. So that one punch, I mean, I can imagine.
I'm not too much of a boxing fan, but the little bit I do know is that it takes an incredible amount of stamina to maintain that level of to go toe to toe with.
And they went it was 8 rounds, 3 minute 8 rounds.
Was it 6 or 8?
Yeah.
It was 3 8-minute rounds. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that was due to the league standards or whatever, the league legend.
I think that's what they
had agreed to. And yeah, I thought it was a really entertaining fight. Unfortunately for Sagawa, it was not a scheduled fight. I don't want to. I would assume maybe it had something to do with maybe the scheduling. I don't remember exactly why he had to fill in for the other fighter, but Ortiz took it home, right? Basically
overall, I thought it was a really good fight.
It was a show. Yeah. But
you think it was mediocre?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really underwhelming.
I thought what was the second fight?
Badu Jack?
Badu Jack, yeah.
And Blake McKernan.
Blake McKernan.
Yeah,
McKernan, the underdog. Yeah. McKernan was the underdog. Which is, it's funny to me because, well, it's probably because it was such a short fight card that I can actually remember the fight well enough to be like...
Because that one went to decision, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and like a lot of what I picked up from the fight really was just that McKenna, right? Or McKennerman?
No. McKernan.
McKernan is the underdog, and he's like fighting for his life. They gave him the Rocky story background or whatever.
No, he gave that to himself, I think.
Yeah,
is that what it was? Okay,
it was self-proclaimed. Underdog.
Oh yeah, he was saying that this was his fight against.
Because he also had a military background, right?
Yeah, he called it his Clubber Lang fight.
Clubber
Remember,
Lang.
that's Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, that's where the Rocky reference was from. Yeah. Right. That fight was good, I guess.
That one actually went all.
It went all the round.
so
I thought it was a good bout. I don't remember really how the fight went too much.
Jack was dominating.
Badu,
Like,
right?
He was
most of it,
dominating the pretty much the whole entire because McKernan, it was almost like he was just swinging. It was just his power. It felt like he had like if he hit you once, that would be it. But it was those slow punches, so you would see when it would be really easy for Jack to telegraph that kind of stuff.
McKernan. He looked like he could take a hit. Because he ate a couple of those haymakers.
He didn't go down. Like I thought he was gonna go down, but
it's that strong, that heart. He had that heart.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played. Have you guys ever played a boxing video game? Like Wii Boxing or whatever. Have you familiar with Fight Night?
Wii Boxing.
Wii Boxing is pretty good too.
That's the standard of boxing games right now.
No, but have you guys played Fight Night?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember briefly. There was a stat, they call it heart. It's like when you get knocked down, the mechanic is like, oh, can you get back up before the counter is out? And there's like a little mini game where you have to get your breathing right. I thought it was really funny. Because that's all I think about when people say, oh, like how you got to have heart to make sure you don't fall or whatever, or like get knocked out easily. I thought that's really funny.
Yeah. Stamina and conditioning will do that for you.
True. Well. That is true, yeah. Anyways.
But I think Badu won that.
Yeah, he won that.
Oh, he did
decision,
win that.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Proving that why it is not always right.
Oof.
Oof.
That was a good way to put it. That's funny.
But that's funny because then you look at the Jake Paul.
Yes, it's
Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson.
Yes,
I know. Look, 2020 has been hard on everyone. Like everybody's taking hits financially, personally, but no one has taken a bigger hit than Nate Robinson in this one.
Thank you for saying that.
I don't know.
I was waiting for you to finish the whole thing.
It's just so sad to see, mostly because
for who? For who?
Nate more because
right,
I mean there was
everybody.
No, it wasn't even that. It's just getting into like as soon as the bell rang and they went at it. Mm-hmm. You can see that he had no technique whatsoever. It was just like him flailing, like hoping he catches him and then would hug him.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm just like, this is not going to be
the most unprofessional fight ever broadcast.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ever.
So the Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson fight was what everybody was talking about. Like I heard more people talking about this Jake Paul Nate Robinson fight than I did any buzz around Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones.
I went to the barber yesterday, and as she was cutting my hair, she asked me about like, oh, did you see the fight? And I said, yeah, man, they robbed Tyson of that victory. And then she was confused for like a minute. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, Tyson, the versus Jones, whatever. That was like the and like there was like 3 other people in there, and they're all kind of like they're in on our conversation. And then after I said that, they're all like, I don't know if they were still tracking either because I was the only one talking about the main event.
The main event.
Yeah.
And then it took a second, and she was finally like, oh yeah, those guys. I was like, yeah, that's kind of the reason I was watching. Dude. That's how shit and how big of a show that
crap
was.
Because it was I mean, that fight was horrible. The best thing that came out of that fight were the memes. I couldn't stop laughing, and Twitter is very good at it.
I was watching the fight. I could hear in the background his laughter, like giggling and shit. I know. Right? I was like, what the fuck is going on?
This is so good.
My favorite one was what's not racist but still feels like it is. And it's Jake Paul knocking Nate Robinson out, and it's like, what?
It is.
Look.
I don't get. I don't get that one though. I don't. Why does it feel racist? Who was that? Was it a friend of yours that posted that?
It's a political joke, right? It's like a lefty joke, kind of like a social justice joke. Look, on a technical level, I don't know shit about boxing. I've practiced a little bit of MMA, but not a lot. And I could tell that they lacked a lot of any kind of technique. Like I think Jake Paul, from what I heard about Jake Paul and his training, is that he was training to be a boxer, if not already a boxer. And so he's talking to Barstool Sports, claiming that I'm sure he's lied about many things before, but he talks about how he's sparring with Golden Glove like competitors and like former champions and like in there with some of the best coaches that he can afford. I mean, I believe that he's got the best training he can afford, and don't get me wrong, he can afford it. It's just that I think that like he's just a kid, and I think this is a trend, not too off topic, but young millionaires literally are just doing whatever they want. Like I do not.
What do you expect them to do?
Yeah.
True. I would not
Work a 9 to 5.
Well, what would you
Like,
be doing? You know, yeah.
That's a good point, actually.
Imagine you had all this money, you could literally do whatever you want. That's
Yeah,
exactly what
let
I
me
do.
go fucking lose.
And
a
they're
couple
not
brain
going to
cells.
have anybody to tell them you probably shouldn't be doing this.
That's
Yeah,
true.
probably.
His
Yeah.
entire corner, I don't know him personally. I know I don't like him. I don't know
You don't
him.
even know him.
I don't know him, but everything that I've seen, I really don't.
It's the only thing
but-
sorry.
You can tell a lot by like the group of friends that he's surrounded with. I mean, if they don't tell him this is probably not a good idea to be, and it isn't it, and it isn't, right? Because him calling out like McGregor, right?
Sure.
That's if he accepts, that's a multi-million dollar fight. Like
I'll
that's
tell you my opinion right after.
that is so. So he's doing the right thing by doing the Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I can't believe you said that.
It's just the trolling works out for them.
It does.
It really does, because that's what people love to hate.
The mainstream media just feeds into it. Bro.
Yeah.
They love
So
it.
why wouldn't he do it, right? Personally, I think it's a horrible idea, because even in that fight, you can tell that he does have some sort of
Yeah.
understanding and he's been taught some technique, not like Nate.
Yeah.
Nate just went in there swinging. I wish he would have had more, where it looked like more training than what he had.
Apparently, the commentator said that he only had 6 months of training or some shit,
That's
and like only trained and was training 6 days a week. I don't know. Clearly, he didn't take the fight very seriously, because he was out there looking like he looked like a clown out there. He was just he didn't look like he was taking it seriously. Jake, I'm sure. I keep forgetting to tell myself that he's still like a kid, like relatively speaking, right? And
what is he, like 23?
He's 23. Yes, he's 23, and
Yeah,
he's
they think he's
got
23.
and he's got a fat bank account, like and he's it's cool on him if he wants to just box his life away. But if I was him, I'd be in real estate and shit. But that's me. But anyways, so yeah, that fight was not worth it, because
Definitely not. It went to what, the
ended, like,
second round?
third-
maybe?
third.
Or
Third,
it
right?
third,
Yeah,
yeah.
Was it the third round?
Mhm.
Yeah, when he clipped him and he just fell, I'm like.
Oh,
Jake
the
is gonna be
first
the
time he
king
fell,
for
I was
next-
Right, yeah, the
that's
first
it.
time he fell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't.
it's
I
just a
didn't
matter
see
of
what
time
happened,
now.
because there was like some kind of commotion going on in here.
I know.
So every time that he knocked him down, I always
We'd be
missed
looking
it.
away or something.
Yeah, I'd be looking away, and then everybody's like,
Passing-
somebody goes, "Oh shit!" And you turn around, and it's like, "Fuck, I missed it again."
That's the great thing about Twitter.
Yeah, I
Like
guess
literally
that's true,
3
yeah.
seconds later, it was already on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the replay was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that fight was cool.
But before we get into the
final fight.
the final fight, yeah, go over these music performance.
Remember the first one?
Oh my god.
Montana? Is it
French
French
Montana.
Oh, yeah,
Montana?
French
Montana. Horrible.
Which is, he just looked awkward.
He did look awkward. He looked like, because remember, there's no crowd, there's no
And
audience.
I think that's what they did wrong, was there is no crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So most of that music plays off the crowd.
But as an entertainer, you should know what the fuck you're doing. I mean, it's
Well, of
obvious.
course.
That's true. I mean, what are you gonna do? And then the second person was someone I don't immediately remember or recognize.
It wasn't YG.
YG was
Oh
the
yeah, I
third
think
act.
that was.
He was,
YG
I
was
thought he
the
was a third act.
YG was the third act. We'll just skip over the one we
Sway
forgot.
Lee came out in the second.
Oh,
but,
Sway Lee was
It
in
was
the
not.
second,
It wasn't.
yeah.
He came out in it, but it wasn't. I don't think it was him.
Okay, and then right, because it was two people, and then the other one was Saint John.
St. John.
Saint John was the other one who does the most famous song, "Roses." And then the final act.
And the
who-
reason
So we're
why
ju-
I wanted to bring this up.
Wait, we're gonna completely just gloss over the fact that he was just up there just cross dressing, like it's okay.
What are you saying?
What do you mean?
Like
enjoyed
I was
his
up there
outfit.
in fucking tight leather pants. Fucking what's that?
A pink jacket and a Betty Boop shirt.
No, it wasn't Betty Boop. Wasn't it,
was.
like
It was
Hello
Betty
It was
Kitty?
Betty Boop. It was
Same
Betty-
shit, whatever.
No,
And a fucking
let's
pink pleather jacket.
I don't think that's cross dressing.
You didn't think that looked like women's clothing that he
No.
was wearing that whole time?
No.
Okay.
Men have been wearing leather
Whatever the fuck
pants
they want
for
They've been but like that.
decades.
Like that though.
I don't expect anything less. I don't know. I just don't expect much
What's that
from
guy's name
fashion
again?
from.
St. John.
Okay, here, let me see if I can
St.
pull it up. No, just
Which,
show it to you
to my
guys. Old school
surprise, I
method.
thought he knew how to sing.
Why would you think that?
Why would you? Yeah.
All his music is like
I-
auto-tuned, isn't it?
Sorry, I guess I just underestimated.
There
his
is not a
ability.
lot of.
No, you overestimated.
I
him.
overestimated his
Fucking guy.
ability to rap and sing.
You underestimated
He's
technology.
not bad. I just didn't realize he had that kind of voice.
No, he is that bad.
Oh.
This isn't from the fight, but you guys, this is okay. You guys like that?
The
Very
problem
manly
is that I
feel?
have no. I can't. It just.
I
seems,
wouldn't wear it, but I'm just not. I'm not saying that
But the,
that is
but the fact
women's
that you
clothing.
you had to take it in for a second.
No, I'm taking
That's
it in
good.
because
No.
I'm
Let me see if I can
surprised.
find
that
the
you
one
think
I have to
that
fight.
take it in like that just because I can't see that far.
Oh, I can't. I can't.
That's
help
the
you.
reason
Okay.
why I
Well,
have
didn't
to
know
stare
that.
at it
All
For
right.
me,
little bit.
I'd
Let
rock
me
it.
find one
I
from
just wouldn't wear it every day of my life.
If you wore that, I would leave.
We're definitely now gonna put the picture right here.
Yeah, I would
I
rock
want
it. I
people
just
to
wouldn't
see
wear it every day of
what
my
it
life.
is. Anyways, the last musical act,
Was Snoop Dogg?
Oh yeah, see that
Which
was good.
was
That was the one.
great.
That was
the
great.
reason why that's probably the best thing that came out of.
He literally
that
stole the
event.
show
Yes, it was really good.
because
Didn't somebody say that like somebody warned him like, hey, you can't smoke?
oh yeah,
on
so many
camera,
people
and he
you
just
can't
fucking
smoke
came out
indoors.
and
Shit,
just-
the
I love
fire
when they
department-
when like the stage crew thing that they can tell them.
Yeah, right.
And they'll just agree. They'll just like yeah. Then they
Oh
get
my
out
God,
there
that
and
is
just
so
do whatever they
fucked.
want.
Well, because
Like-
it's already live. You're not gonna come up on
Yeah,
like in
you
the middle of
can't,
the
yeah.
show and be like, "Hey, cut that shit
Nah,
out."
but then-
It's Snoop Dogg, so you shouldn't be surprised that
Yeah.
he's gonna come out and start smoking.
It's like
and
when
shit,
he
you know?
was they got that shot of him with the commentators and you just see like smoke.
Yes, I thought that was part of the effects. I
And
didn't
the guy's
realize
like,
that
we're
was
getting that
actually
contact high,
smoking.
Yeah.
secondhand high over here.
That's how you knew he was there.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. He played all of his hits, of course. Nothing fancy. We did forget YG. YG was cool. It obviously fit
Yeah, it
his
wasn't bad.
theme. It was all red and shit. It was cool.
It wasn't bad.
Well, you guys liked it.
And then, of course, the main event, what everybody had
event.
been waiting for, was Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. Now, right before the fight, they had a quick interview with Roy Jones Jr. Now, let me be clear for
Interview
myself.
with both of them.
Oh, right. There was both
Yeah.
of them. But for me, just a little bit of history. I am not old enough to have ever seen Mike Tyson in his prime or Roy Jones Jr. And Jones Jr. is younger, like by 3 years, right? Mike Tyson's 55 and Jr. is 53, 52, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
don't think so.
Yeah, they only started about I think
A couple
3
years apart.
years apart.
3 years apart, something
Yeah,
like that.
2 or 3 years apart.
Anyways, and for me,
Oh, he's 50. Mike Tyson's 54. That's right.
Mm.
Roy Jones is 51.
okay,
Yeah.
there you go. And for me, I think Roy Jones, he looks like he's been boxing for a long time. I don't know anything like about his history. Like I didn't do any research. Maybe that's a bad thing about his history, his fighting history. But maybe he just didn't look all there to me. If that's just me, is that just me?
I felt like it wasn't.
Like Mike Tyson.
Oh,
looks
you're
like he's
talking
not
about-
all
oh,
there.
He
if
wasn't
we're
like
talking
amped
about-
for it.
Yeah,
he was just
yeah.
like remember,
Yeah,
like
there
I
you go.
said,
Yeah,
he
there
was
you
like Yoda coming out to the just like very
Yeah.
slow
Oh
and
my
very.
Oh, we gotta talk about
Um,
the way they walked in for sure.
I mean,
for the interviews and even for the walk, like even when he was walking up to the, he just looked like a Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
soccer dad woke up from a nap and he's about to
Literally.
take the
Yeah.
kids to
His
the.
arms, I'm like, did you work out for this? Like Tyson looks good, right? Losing 100 pounds for this, that was crazy. Now,
I don't know for this, but
Oh, yeah,
he
right.
lost 100 pounds.
so Tyson, he's hilarious. I know he doesn't give a fuck about the spectacle anymore. It's obvious he doesn't, because literally they announce his name and he doesn't even give the opening music
Oh,
to,
yeah, that's
to
right.
drop. So he just keeps walking. He just walks just straight.
like
just,
by the time the
No, it's
lights
not
went
even-
on and
yeah,
the
but it's
music,
not
he
even
was, like,
that. It's
halfway
it's
in.
not. He's just that's how focused he is.
Yeah.
He's like
Is
he's
that what
not.
that
Yeah,
was?
he's not here for the fucking show.
He's like
here,
when you get
he's here
tunnel
to kill this
vision, he was
motherfucker,
just
bro.
going straight to what he had to do.
Because the way Roy Jones was doing it, like he was just kind of
Yeah.
in that little.
He was just walking back,
waiting
like he was
area. He was
pacing.
pacing back
Yeah.
and forth
Yeah.
until the music turned on,
Yeah.
and then he gave it a second and he started taking it in, and then he came out and fucking for Tyson it was just quiet on like it was like
Yeah.
quiet on set, and then he's just walking out, doesn't give a fuck, ready to go.
Literally,
and
the
then they
cue-
start playing. Oh shit, he's coming out! Fire up! The
They
music,
told
gotta
him
go,
the
gotta
cue is
go.
the music. As soon as you hear the sound, just
No,
go.
I think they told him just around this corner, and he just
And
started
he just
walking.
fucking starts
Yeah.
walking.
And he was
yeah.
like, "No, wait for the cue," and then he
No, he's
already.
they
like,
just
"Oh,
started
fine."
press play. Yeah.
Oh, God
That
damn
was
it,
great.
hilarious.
Like unironically, like he's funny. I was just gonna bring up, like, I think it's fucking stupid when reporters bring up arbitrary rhetorical questions. It's like, it's like, what did he ask him? What did he ask Tyson? That Tyson was just like, well, yeah, I'm excited. I'm here to fight. Like, what else would I be doing here?
I think I don't remember what the question was, but I remember him
Right.
answering sort of that way.
And-
Like,
Yeah, that happened
yeah.
the other day too. I was watching a different sporting event, and they asked
I
the
think he
coach-
said, "Are you nervous?"
"Oh yeah,"
Something
he's like,
that. Oh yeah, he's like, "Are
I'm
you nervous?" Or
yeah.
whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I'm nervous. It's a fucking, it's a
Yeah.
well, he didn't say fuck or whatever, but
Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing. But yeah,
that was funny.
it's a stupid ass question
really
to ask.
silly.
Like, are
It
you
is,
nervous to go up on a pay-per-view event? Like, what the fuck kind of stupid question is that, you idiot? Oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
Now, specifically, the fight itself was a lot of fun.
He was robbed.
Right.
That
obviously.
wasn't. That's not a. That he
Yeah.
was. He was landing more punches. He was
Dude, he was
the.
doing
he was
great, man.
the
Mhm.
aggressor in the entire. And I mean, I think it was by the third or the fourth. Jones already looked. He was exhausted.
I just,
Oh yeah, he's right.
yeah, it's obvious that
It
Junior
was 8 2-minute
was
rounds.
talked into this fight.
8.
Mm-hmm.
How many? It was 8. Yeah.
8 2-minute rounds. Yeah.
2 minutes.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Also, they had agreed not to wear headgear. Had they worn headgear,
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I had no idea either. But I
Yeah.
guess it's because of their age, and
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
Junior clearly needs it. No disrespect to his mental health.
Yeah, no disrespect to him. He clearly seems like he needs.
I
the
mean,
fucking
hey, that's like
helmet
when you tell
gear,
somebody, "Hey,
headgear.
look, you look like you need a helmet," not even to be.
But I mean, he
fucked up.
was getting hit
hard.
very hard. I mean, you see like the post interview when they were up there, and he's like holding his.
Oh, yeah,
looked like he was
that's
having a
great. Yeah.
stroke. his arm. Tyson was like, "Yeah, I'll do this again."
Yeah,
Oh god.
he was like hardly.
He looked
phased at
lost.
all.
He looked like, "Oh, the fight is over already. Oh, time to go home."
Oh man, you guys missed. Yeah, I think I was the only one that caught it because so the camera showed them like after the fight and everything, and they were both in their corners, and somebody said something to Tyson, which
Yeah.
is probably like, "Hey, they're gonna call it a draw."
Yeah.
And then I just, you just see him like turn around, look, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like he was mad.
Wow.
So like,
Yeah.
he
'cause
knows
that's
it
not
was
good.
bullshit
Yeah,
because
that's.
he
I mean,
absolutely
also,
won
I
that
think
fight, dude.
Jones also knew. I mean, that's why he
Yeah, of
said
course,
there. He
that's
was just
why-
like,
yeah.
he's like, he was the better man. I mean, he's like, I was hurting the whole entire time.
Oh yeah, right.
Damn. Yeah, that's true.
So at least he did that, and he wasn't like, they called it right or something like that.
Yeah.
He at least.
Man, yeah. If Tyson would have won, it would have just been the perfect ending to that pay-per-view event. So, yeah. So him not winning, them getting the draw, and then the Robinson fight being short, and actually those were the two Those were the two biggest flaws for me of the event.
But they were the biggest. I mean, the main event,
Mhm.
and then
right.
the celebrity fight. I mean, that was the two big draws for them not to be.
True.
I guess they're using the celebrity term very loosely. I guess right because I never even heard of Nate Robinson up until that night.
Oh yeah, if you don't.
I mean,
if you
because
don't
I'm
watch
not. I don't. Yeah,
basketball,
I'm not
yeah.
into that shit. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like when you say something is like a celebrity fight, you would expect it to be a more sort of widely known name in like pop culture or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I hadn't even heard of him because he's a 3-time dunk champ. They try to keep emphasizing that, but it's like
Well,
that's
his biggest
not.
accolade.
Yeah, but that's. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is that really like a huge achievement? I guess
No.
maybe, but probably
It's
not.
just a lot of fun. Yeah, so the review for the fight. I out of 5 stars, I'd give it like 3.5, like close to 4, 3.8 stars. Like by that ridiculous fucking rating.
Actually, 3.8.
Because
It's oddly specific.
it's not a
Yeah.
4. Yeah, it's not a 4 because a 4 would have been that Tyson won and at least Jake Paul and Robinson traded blows. It was sponsored by Weed Maps, which is funny. And
Not what I was talking
Fight, the organization that
Oh yeah, that was everywhere. Weed Maps. They had it
right,
all
Weed
over
Maps
the
was the
Yeah,
main.
everywhere.
I love the
Yeah.
setting too, the stage, the way they had all the lights kind of cross each other to make it look like a boxing ring.
place. Yeah,
That was
that's pretty
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, 3.8. And I'm being generous here because I did enjoy it, not because you invited us to watch it, but I did enjoy it a lot. And I'd watched. I mean, I can officially say I've seen a Mike Tyson fight live before.
Yeah.
I think 3.8 is very generous.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm being generous.
yeah, because if I put together the fights, the musical acts, a 3. I think
That's
a
a good
3 would be, and I think I'm being generous because
yeah. I
of
feel like you're
Snoop
being
Dogg
generous.
and
St. John, no.
no, I mean, I like to see Mike. It's just like they're not in their prime.
Shit.
It would have been great to
right,
watch them in their
yeah.
prime, but just they're not in their prime. Even though I think they put a good show
This is
on.
what
It's just
Snoop-
they're not in their prime.
What's
That's all.
Snoop call it? Two uncles.
Oh,
fighting
two
at a
uncles,
barbecue.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He said, "Get up, Unc."
Get up, Unc. Come on.
Grandma, they had it again.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
So
Fuck.
that's the only reason why. Yeah, I have
you're
to drop it.
fighting.
And then the other fights were just. The first two entertained me. The first one really entertained me. After, I mean, the celebrity fight.
Learn to fight, you people.
I guess I'd give it a 3. It's like, yeah, it's something to watch. Basically.
Yeah, it's something to watch. The Tyson, if you're Tyson Jones, please, if you get a chance to watch it somehow, just watch that, and you'll be fine.
Don't waste just watch the highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can. No, don't waste
If you
your time.
feel like you want to
By the
watch
time
the
this
whole
comes
thing,
out,
it's
you'll
like,
know. You'll.
I mean, they knew the moment it was happening.
Yeah.
yeah, they have.
So-
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
It is crazy how quickly everything just went on Twitter. Because I never actually like sat down and like watched an event and had somebody like on the Twitter too, on the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
But yeah, it's pretty funny how quickly like everybody's just like
Yeah.
posting this shit. Like,
I'm sure their fingertips are on the draft button, just
for sure, man.
gone.
It's crazy.
But yeah, just want to remind everybody that we do have our weekly podcast that goes up. We are on audio platforms now, all the major ones. So wherever you listen to, you have no excuse. Also, we appreciate everybody tuning in on a weekly basis. Thank you so much from all of us here. Peace.